ಅರುಣಾಚಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವತರಿಸಿದವರ ಕರುಣಾ ನಿಲಯನ ಹಾಡುವೆನು. ಮರುಳು ಮಾನವನ ಮುಸುಕಿದ ಮಾಯೆಯ ಇರುಳ ಕಳೆಯೆಂದು ಬೇಡುವೆನು. ಅರುಣಾಚಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವತರಿಸಿದವರ ಕರುಣಾ ನಿಲಯನ ಹಾಡುವೆನು. ಮರುಳು ಮಾನವನ ಮುಸುಕಿದ ಮಾಯೆಯ ಇರುಳ ಕಳೆಯೆಂದು ಬೇಡುವೆನು. ಅರುಣಾಚಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವತರಿಸಿದವರ ಕರುಣಾ ನಿಲಯನ ಹಾಡುವೆನು. ನಲಿಯುತ್ತ ಸಾಗುವ ನಿರ್ಮಲ ನದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ ಪಾವನತೆ ಫಲಿಸಿಹುದೋ, ಯಾರ ಪಾವನತೆ ಫಲಿಸಿಹುದೋ. ಉಲಿಯುವ ಹಕ್ಕಿಯ ಉದಾರ ದನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ ಮಧುಕಂಠ ಸುಳಿಯುವುದೋ, ಯಾರ ಮಧುಕಂಠ ಸುಳಿಯುವುದೋ. ಅರಳಿದ ಮಾವಿನ ಅನಂತ ಸಿರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ ಕಾರುಣ್ಯ ಮೆರೆಯುವುದೋ, ಯಾರ ಕಾರುಣ್ಯ ಮೆರೆಯುವುದೋ. ಆತ್ಮರೂಪಿ ಆ ರಮಣನ ವೈಭವ, ಆತ್ಮರೂಪಿ ಆ ರಮಣನ ವೈಭವ ತೋರುವ ರೀತಿಗೆ ಕೊನೆಯುವುದೋ, ತೋರುವ ರೀತಿಗೆ ಕೊನೆಯುವುದೋ, ತೋರುವ ರೀತಿಗೆ ಕೊನೆಯುವುದೋ. ಅರುಣಾಚಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವತರಿಸಿದವರ ಕರುಣಾ ನಿಲಯನ ಹಾಡುವೆನು. ಯೋಗ ಜೀವನದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಿಖರಗಳ ಏರಿ ಪೂರ್ಣತೆಯ ಪಡೆದವನೇ, ಏರಿ ಪೂರ್ಣತೆಯ ಪಡೆದವನೇ. ತ್ಯಾಗ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನೆನ್ನುವ ಭಾವವ ಚರಾಚರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಳಿದವನೇ, ಚರಾಚರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಳಿದವನೇ. ರಾಗ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳ ಜಯಿಸಿ ಸಮನಿರದ ವಿರಾಗಿ ಎನ್ನಿಸಿದ ಮುನಿವರನೇ, ವಿರಾಗಿ ಎನ್ನಿಸಿದ ಮುನಿವರನೇ. ಸೋಗಿನ ಬಾಳಿಗೆ ಸೋತ ದೀನನ ಸೋಗಿನ ಬಾಳಿಗೆ ಸೋತ ದೀನನ ಎತ್ತಿಕೊ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ನಿನ್ನೊಡನೆ, ಎತ್ತಿಕೊ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ನಿನ್ನೊಡನೆ, ಎತ್ತಿಕೊ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ನಿನ್ನೊಡನೆ, ಎತ್ತಿಕೊ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ನಿನ್ನೊಡನೆ, ಎತ್ತಿಕೊ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ನಿನ್ನೊಡನೆ.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. A very warm welcome to all the devotees on this occasion of the 75th Bhagavan Ramana's Aradhana celebration. In this offering, we are singing, rejoicing, and remembering the glory, the Vaibhava, the greatness of the Supreme Self that incarnated in Arunachala as Bhagavan Ramana to save us all from the darkness of ignorance, as reflected in Dr. Lakshmi Narayana Bhatta's Kannada translation of Sri Kavya Kanta Ganapati Muni's Chatvarimshat that we just heard now. Bhagavan lived for 54 years at Arunachala, pouring his boundless love and compassion on all beings. Bhagavan saying, "Where can I go? I am here," will resound with us forever. Y.V. Venkateshwar Rao describes in simple words the sweetness of the name Ramana and why the great spiritual magnet that Bhagavan was drew millions of people from all walks of life from all over the world and continues to do so even today in this beautiful, sweet song.
Ramana madhura namam Arunakanti deepam Ramana guruni ashramam Parama punya kshetram Ramana madhura namam Arunakanti deepam रमणगुरुनि आश्रमं परमपुण्यक्षेत्रम्
अरुणगिरिप्रदक्षिणम् आत्मशक्तिसाधनम्
अरुणगिरिप्रदक्षिणम् आत्मशक्तिसाधनं रमणनामकीर्तनं मनोबलप्रसादितं रमणनामकीर्तनं मनोबलप्रसादितं रमणमधुरनामम् अरुणकान्तिदीपम् रमणगुरुनि आश्रमं परमपुण्यक्षेत्रम्
रमणकथाश्रवणम् भक्तहृदयस्पन्दनम्
रमणकथाश्रवणं भक्तहृदयस्पन्दनं रमणरूपध्यानं मुक्तिमार्गद्योतकं रमणरूपध्यानं मुक्तिमार्गद्योतकं रमणमधुरनामम् अरुणकान्तिदीपं रमणगुरुनि आश्रमं परमपुण्यक्षेत्रम्
रमणगीतपठनम् सत्यधर्मसङ्ग्रहम्
रमणगीतपठनं सत्यधर्मसङ्ग्रहम् रमणकरस्पर्शनं सर्वव्याधिनिवारणं रमणकरस्पर्शनं सर्वव्याधिनिवारणं रमणमधुरनामम् अरुणकान्तिदीपं रमणगुरुनि आश्रमम् परमपुण्यक्षेत्रम्
रमणनामगायनो भक्तजनप्रमोदकम्
रमणनामगायनं भक्तजनप्रमोदकं रमणप्रभुदीवनं नूतनोत्तेजितं रमणप्रभुदीवनं नूतनोत्तेजितं रमणमधुरनामम् अरुणकान्तिदीपं रमणगुरुनि आश्रमं परमपुण्यक्षेत्रम् रमणमधुरनामम् अरुणकान्तिदीपं रमणगुरुनि आश्रमं परमपुण्यक्षेत्रम् परमपुण्यक्षेत्रम् परमपुण्यक्षेत्रम्.
We are indebted to ardent devotees of Bhagavan Ramana like Suri Nagama, Devaraj Mudaliar, Alan Chadwick, and several others, making us aware of the fullness of love radiating from the one ever absorbed in the self, and relive Bhagavan's physical presence through their writings and reminiscences. Swami Ranganathananda, Vice President of Ramakrishna Mutt, describes the absolute humanness and divinity of Bhagavan Ramana in this article, Bhagavan Ramana and his immortal message.
Bhagavan Ramana and his immortal message. Swami Ranganathananda. I had been twice to Sri Ramanasramam when Sri Bhagavan was in the body. The first visit was in 1936. Those were memorable days. I still remember the extremely human attraction of Bhagavan. Extremely human, without any pretension. He was an extraordinary personality who could draw the minds and hearts of people from all over the world. How many different types of people were drawn to him. Such drawing power is the trait of those who remain immersed in the divine. They cease to be separate individuals. They become universal. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are two beautiful verses which describe the nature of this attraction and the effect it has on those who are drawn by it. The first verse refers to the unbreakable, unbinding nature of the attachments we all have and adds that if only we could turn these attachments to universal personalities like Bhagavan, these very attachments become the cause of our liberation. Such attachment is an attachment which destroys all attachment. The second verse describes the nature of the holy person, attachment to whom becomes a liberating force. It should be to those who are extremely tranquil, whose mind is like the calm ocean without waves, who are filled with compassion, a friend of all embodied beings. Another feature is that an enemy is yet to be born for such a person. Such persons are a real ornament to the world of sadhus. That fine description fits our Bhagavan the best. Those of you who are attracted to Bhagavan are breaking your bondage through attachment to him, and we have plenty of attachments to break. In the great augury that so many people are fascinated by this immense personality. We are experiencing great joy on this occasion of the centenary of the birth of Bhagavan. When we observe the centenary, let us not forget that it is only one aspect of the Bhagavan, what may be termed the time aspect, the historical aspect. We have to remember his remarks. What is birth? What is death? It pertains to the body. These remarks convey the profound truth that reality has a non-historical dimension, the eternal aspect. In Ramana Maharshi, you see the confluence of the historical and non-historical, the time-bound and the eternal. As a human personality, he has a history, and we celebrate the 100th birthday of that great teacher. But he had condensed in himself the immortal, the eternal. Hence the tremendous stature of his life. He lived amongst us just like a simple human being, outwardly simple, but inwardly an immense personality. You could not measure him just as the column of light of Shiva, which had appeared once in Arunachala. You cannot see the height, you cannot see the depth. Those who have seen the human form of Bhagavan are indeed blessed. His touch was the touch of the immortal, a touch that elevates and makes you feel that you are also someone worthwhile. In this age of physical verification, we find in Bhagavan the human form of that eternal truth. Maharshi has always diverted our attention from secondary things to primary things. He put questions that would put the questioner back on the track of the eternal. He would say, search for the eternal, that is your nature. It is not far away. It is close to you. It is the wonderful I which is behind the tiny I. In every human being, there is the historical and the immortal hidden within. One must go from one to the other. We become mortal due to the delusion of the senses. We gain immortality by searching for the truth. That is the Adhyatma Vidya of the Upanishads, whose message we find glowing in the teachings of the Maharshi. A highly quoted verse of Mundakopanishad says that wise sages who discover this great truth by direct experience are full of joy, ananda, and are drunk with bliss. In the Maharshi, we could grasp the true meaning of this verse. He was constantly in the divine awareness, whether he was sitting alone, or he was radiating a silence presence, or he was correcting proof, or he was reading the newspaper, or whether he was cutting vegetables in the kitchen. He was brimming with joy. He was the very personification of the infinite, of the divine. Every word he spoke was charged with the wisdom of Atma Vidya. In the Upanishads, we have some great utterances which bring to us the description of this great experience. But they are all literature. Today's humanity can see it realized in the personality of Bhagavan. He exemplified the great teaching, I am that. Hence his fascination, relaxed, no rigidity, creative, human, and full of joy. Bhagavan says that this experience is easy to come by. Literally true. It is easy. But for whom? For those who can understand that truth is simple. However, we want things to be complicated and complex. When this attitude is changed, we comprehend the truth and its simplicity. There are no gymnastics to go through. It is just changing the center of our awareness. It is only we become experimenters in religion, scientists in religion, that every word of the Maharshi would become clear and we can understand this great teaching. We have seen Ramana Maharshi and read about Sukha of Bhagavatam. There is so much similarity between the two. They found delight in and were reveling in the self, experiencing infinite joy, free from bondage and yet filled with motiveless love. It is the eternal message manifesting in a human dimension that we call Ramana Maharshi. There is a beautiful verse in Shankaracharya's Viveka Chudamani which is so apt for the Maharshi. Absolutely poor but full of happiness, no army behind but infinitely strong. No experience of sense satisfaction but always happy. None equal to him, but he feels all to be his equals. I wish to stress the last feature, the sense of equality, the utter unpretentious greatness of the Maharshi. I would like to refer to just one instance here. When I arrived, I had told him that I would be staying for 3 days and leave by train on the evening of the 3rd day. I had forgotten. He looked at me at the right time and said, "Your Tonga is arranged, and it is time for you to go." How human. Talking like man to man, and yet how gigantic. There will be a tremendous revolution when his teachings and examples are more widely understood. The beautiful flavor of this beautiful flower of pure spirituality is now spreading all over the world. If you're hungry for truth, if you're ardent in your search, you will get fulfillment out of the Maharshi. Once again, I would like to refer to some verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. What is said of Sri Krishna there applies equally to Bhagavan. The more we hear, the more the desire arises to hear more and more. May all of us be worthy of this tremendous spiritual dynamo who enters our hearts even without our knowing it.
We conclude our joyous offering of the glory of Bhagavan Ramana with a song composed by Keel Pasalai Narayan Iyer, a relative of Bhagavan. He describes the greatness of Bhagavan and his teachings of surrender and self-enquiry. Bhagavan gave an affirmation that Ramana bestows eternal fortune to all by repeating the words Ramana Dirga Saubhagyam Tandalum when Narayan Iyer sang it in Bhagavan's presence. We are all truly caught in the net of Bhagavan Ramana's grace and blessed with eternal fortune and never to be forsaken.
Dirga Saubhagyam Tandalum Tava Murtiye Ramana Ennalum Vande Dirga Saubhagyam Tandalum Tava Murtiye Ramana Ennalum Vande Dirga Saubhagyam Tandalum Parkum idamella Bhagavane Ramanane Neekamella Dolir Nirmalane Kone Parkum idamella Bhagavane Ramanane Neekamella Dolir Nirmalane Kone Dirga Saubhagyam Tandalum Dirga Saubhagyam Tandalum பக்தர்கள் போற்றிடும் பரஞ்சோதி உன்னை நித்தியம் தியானமே செய்திடுவேனே. பக்தர்கள் போற்றிடும் பரஞ்சோதி உன்னை நித்தியம் தியானமே செய்திடுவேனே. பக்கமே துணையாய் பகவானே நீ, பக்கமே துணையாய் பகவானே நீ, இக்கணமே அருள் இனிதா. பக்கமே துணையாய் பகவானே நீ, இக்கணமே அருள் இனிதா. தீர்க்க சௌபாகியம் தந்தாளும், தீர்க்க சௌபாகியம் தந்தாளும். அலை கடல் தூரும்பென அலையாமல் மனம், ஆடி காற்றோலை என உலையாமல். அலை கடல் தூரும்பென அலையாமல் மனம், ஆடி காற்றோலை என உலையாமல். மலையென வரும் பிணி நிலையாமல் தள்ளி, மலையென வரும் பிணி நிலையாமல் தள்ளி, தலைமுறை தவறாமல் பிரியாமல். மலையென வரும் பிணி நிலையாமல் தள்ளி, தலைமுறை தவறாமல் பிரியாமல். தீர்க்க சௌபாகியம் தந்தாளும், தீர்க்க சௌபாகியம் தந்தாளும். தன்னை மறந்திருந்த தன் கண்மவினை போகும், தன்னை அறிந்திருந்தார் ஜன்ம சாபல்யமாகும். தன்னை மறந்திருந்த தன் கண்மவினை போகும், தன்னை அறிந்திருந்தால் ஜன்ம சாபல்யமாகும். எண்ணம் மொழிய தினம் பண்ணு தியானம் என, எண்ணம் மொழிய தினம் பண்ணு தியானம் என, திண்ணமாய் ஓதும் திருவண்ணாமலை ரமணா. எண்ணம் மொழிய தினம் பண்ணு தியானம் என, திண்ணமாய் ஓதும் திருவண்ணாமலை ரமணா. தீர்க்க சௌபாகியம் தந்தாளும் தவ மூர்த்தியே ரமணா, என்னாளும் வந்தே. தீர்க்க சௌபாகியம் தந்தாளும், தீர்க்க சௌபாகியம் தந்தாளும்.
Our immense thanks to Arunachala Ashrama and Bangalore Ramana Center as always. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya.